Welcome YouTube, and it's time to melange with Mufas. Welcome to another edition of Melange Mufas. Asa here to mix it up with my favorite ladies and gentlemen. So for today's video, I don't plan on actually doing any Mandarin speaking around a certain theme, but I did want to talk about something that is crucial and key to my Mandarin learning journey, and that is that of Pinyin and Hanzi, which are Chinese characters. Now before I continue, as always, I do want to ask that you please hit the like button for this video, and also smash the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you will be notified anytime a video from Melange Mufas does come online. Now to demonstrate what I mean by Pinyin and Hanzi, I am going to demonstrate with some of you guys know I already like, and those are fruits. I have two fruits here. I have a mango and an orange. A mango we say mango, and here we say chunzi. Now that you can write this in Hanzi or you can write it in Pinyin. So as you can see with Hanzi, they're just characters and you just have to get used to the characters. You have to practice them to figure out what it is that they mean and represent. But when you talk about Pinyin, you can see you're using Roman letters to sort of spell out what those words are. And so Pinyin is sort of like Pinyin is a Romanized version of Chinese words, like spelling them out using Roman letters. And I believe they're probably made for, people like us who are not familiar with the language, who are trying to get used to learning it. The thing that's good with Pinyin, honestly, is that it does help, like the tones are it's pretty clear what your intonation is supposed to be, and it makes it easier to know what word it is that you're supposed to say. Let's say if you're not good with picking up the characters or you don't know, if you see the word spelled out in Pinyin, then you know exactly how it's supposed to be said, and it's easy to figure out what that word is. Now with that said, here's the reason why I don't use it. I have never ever till this day seen anything written in Pinyin anywhere. I've looked through different little small books, I've looked through articles online. Even if you see billboards on TV, if you see billboards just on Google Photos, you will never see anything written in Pinyin. And so when I actually started learning, I actually started by first couple lessons I did, and all the apps actually were actually done in Pinyin. And I realized I was actually doing a disservice to myself, because if I wanted to learn if I was just learning to just wanted to learn to listen, and talk, then it wouldn't be a problem. But because of the fact that I also wanted to learn how to read it, then I knew that I actually needed to sort of get away from the Pinyin. So because of that, what I began to do was to all the apps actually have an option where you can have the Pinyin and the Hanzi lined up together, so you can sort of see how to spell, you just sort of match each. But what happened is that I found myself when I switched over from it being just Pinyin to both, I found myself still being tempted to read the Pinyin because it's just so much easier. You kind of know what it is to say, you know what tone to use, you never have to worry. So because of that, I decided about 3-4 lessons in, I said no. I took away the Pinyin as well, and all I use now is Hanzi. So if I demonstrate here, I'll just do all my demonstrations for this in Hello Chinese. You can see if I toggle the setting and I put it at Pinyin only, this is where I had it at first. So if I show you one of the lessons, this is kind of how I would read it. I'd be able to see the tone, I'd be able to just read it as I see it. But then I realized this wasn't helping me in any way. So now if I put the setting just at Hanzi, you'll be able to see that it's just characters. And so the good thing is that before every lesson, you're kind of learning the words before you're going into using them as sentences. So it's not as bad. You can easily pick out what it is that you need. But before I had switched over to go get it back to only Hanzi, the one thing I did that I knew that I needed to get down pat was being able to recognize tones. Because now I didn't have the help of Pinyin with the inflection signs and everything telling me when it is I should use a certain tone. So I made sure I went back and practiced it. If you see the first lesson, I practiced all the tones, practiced listening to them, and I did those exercises until I was able to do it without getting anything wrong. And so I did that. Now you can see the parts with alphabet and stuff like that. I didn't really, my focus was on the tones. I know it's probably not good foundationally, but that's how I've chosen to do it. So that was my approach. I got the tones down pat, being able to hear them without any problem. And then I went back now and started doing my lessons without tones. And it's helped me a lot because now I can actually recognize characters without a problem. If I've learned it, I'll be able to recognize it. The other thing too is that it's not everywhere, especially as you go deep into the lessons, they do get harder and they start to use words of a higher HSK level, like HSK 3 and 4 level. Those words and the character, the character visual, the pictures, they tend to get a little more complex and harder. So there's something I do where you can just like click, I just like, tap on the Hanzi, the character itself, and you can see, like, I just use the pinyin more just to know how I'm supposed to pronounce it. Like if I hear it and I can't really tell, like, okay, what is being said here, then I'll click it just to see how it's supposed to be pronounced, and I practice it a couple times, and then I take it off. I don't like toggle the setting. I just like look for that specific word, and then I start practicing it all over again, and then everything is fine from there. I know I mentioned the tones before. There are 4 key tones that one has to master. Well, 5, I'd say 4.5 really, but that one has to know. Those all have different meanings, and knowing the difference between all of them is very key. For example, buy and sell. Buy in Mandarin is mai, sell is mai. So you have the 3rd tone and the 4th tone. You can hear in the sense that you would think that, you could just, if you don't actually like pinpoint what tone is being used, you're gonna mess up the meaning of what it is that is being said to you. And so that's why I realized, okay, knowing the tones is very, very important before trying to deep dive into like, going specifically with characters and try to go deep into lessons. You have to get that foundation down first. So in previous videos, you've probably seen where like I'll say something in one way and then I'll like repeat it and like change the intonation. That's only because I'm trying to make a conscious effort in making sure that the way I say it is actually proper. I don't want to cheat it. I want to make sure I'm saying it as proper as I can when I can. I'm not trying to make everything perfect, but for when I can actually think and remember it, I'll definitely try to make sure to say it as best as I can. So we're gonna see more of that as we go into more videos. Me probably doing the intentional change and everything. The next update I'm gonna do is Friday. So I actually do my updates on like where I am with the app studying on Fridays only. And so you'll see I'm actually focusing this month, the rest of this month, exclusively on Hello Chinese and Duolingo. And I'll get into more details in the next video when I'm doing like the full-on update. So you'll see why I'm doing that and why I have Chinese skill as what I'll get to after I get through these 2. So with all that said, I want to thank you guys again for tuning in here with Melange Mufaz. Please like, comment, and also subscribe down below and hit the notification bell so you will be notified the next time a video does come online. To my favorite ladies and gentlemen, take care.